37.9 million. That's the number of Americans currently living in poverty, accounting for 11.6% of the total population. That's despite the fact that America ranks first as the richest nation in the world in terms of GDP.
The United States is known for having this great abundance, and at the same time, alongside that abundance, there is widespread poverty and economic insecurity.
Sometimes you question, we're in the United States of America. How can the citizens be going through such a issue? We always boast that we're a superpower, that we are the richest in the world, and things just don't make sense.
Poverty in the U.S. had been steadily improving over the past decade, from a height of 48.8 million people living in poverty in 2013 to 34 million in 2019. That was until the pandemic changed its course.
COVID absolutely had a very deep impact on the access to employment and long-term employment for a number of families that were already vulnerable for various reasons.
Prior, it was myself and my two older brothers, along with my stepdad, that constantly worked to provide for everyone in the house. But after COVID-19 and the whole lockdown, we were laid off. And ever since then, we have had issues finding a job.
Poverty is expensive. About 11% of the federal budget, or $665 billion, goes to economic security programs. Child poverty alone is estimated to cost the U.S. over $1 trillion, based on the latest research from 2018.
There are also really high costs on an individual level. Poverty leads to more anxiety, it leads to more stress, it leads to more health problems, all kinds of things that amplify the effect of poverty.
The feelings that you would usually encounter when you're in this position is mostly depression. Why can't I find a job? Why are we in this situation? We're trying our best, and sometimes it's just falling back down on our face.
So how did poverty become such a big issue in the United States? And why is it so difficult to end it? Income inequality is one of the big reasons why the U.S. suffers from such high rates of poverty. The income for the top 10% was more than 13 times higher than income at the bottom 10%, according to the U.S. Census.
We, unfortunately, in the United States are at the very high end in terms of income inequality. And so what happens is, when the distance gets further and further away, the rungs on the ladder get further away, and it's harder for people to climb those rungs out of poverty.
That was a segment on CNBC, and they're talking about poverty in America. By the end of the segment, you'll know the 3 ways to get out of debt so that you will not face poverty. Now, America is very unique. It has a lot of wealthy people, and we owe a lot of money. We owe $33 trillion. According to CNBC, poverty costs America $1 trillion per year for children. That's just how poverty is. And then the income inequality, that's what CNBC was talking about. The 10% at the top are making a lot more than the average person. Now, if you understand America very well, you understand that to get to the top, you need multiple degrees, you need graduate degrees. So it costs you a lot of money to become rich in America. So the people that are at the top, they're making all this money, but it puts in a lot of money and time. So it's just the way the system was set up. Capitalism is good and capitalism is bad. We are seeing the nastiness of capitalism when we see poverty in America. But people love it that way because people have a shot at being rich in America. However, you need to have all these accolades. You need to have all these degrees from certain schools in order to become wealthy in America. And that's something that lots of people do not like and do not appreciate. So 37.9 million people are in poverty in America. That's 11.6%. Americans have a high tolerance. That's according to CNBC. America has a high tolerance for poverty. Yes, it's a capitalist country that has a very high tolerance for poverty. So 3 things that are causing America to get poorer and poorer. Medical bills. The average medicine in America, if you're sick, is going to cost you about $1,600 a month. So that's going to make you poor because your mortgage is about $1,600 a month. Ooh, the insurance company understands the game. They recognize you're going to choose life or health, and you're always going to choose life. So you're going to pay for the medicine $1,600 and then you're going to lose your home. So that's the number one thing that's causing people to be poor in America. Number two, unemployment is very high now after COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their jobs after COVID. A lot of companies went under, never came back. That's hurting all of us in America, and that's creating more poverty in America. Number three, our government, the way it was set up, the government owes $33 trillion. That is going to create more poverty in America, because when a government owes that much money, they're going to look to get paid. So either it's going to not take care of the people, or it's going to scale down on the business, or it's going to create the inflation to keep going and it won't stop. But somehow the $33 trillion, that's going to be affecting all of us in America, and that's going to extend the poverty amount. There are 500,000 homeless, over 560,000 homeless people living in the United States. Yet, so we have droves of immigrants. That's another thing that's causing poverty in America. The excessive immigrations that are coming in, and they're straining governments and they're straining programs. All of that is creating more poverty. How can you stay out of poverty in America? Go ahead and hit the free like and the free subscribe button right now, please, because we would like to get to 100,000 subscribers. That way we'll start doing some free giveaway to subscribers. We love it. And then when we get to 200, we'll be doing more. We'll just keep going more. So we're looking forward to it. And check out the tag products at Sephora today. They're gorgeous. They're lovely. Now you can shop and watch your favorite YouTube channel at the same time. I'm Tisha Powell. Let's talk about the 3 ways to get out of debt in America. 3 ways to avoid poverty. You must save your money in order to avoid poverty. You must invest the money, not all of it, but money saved must be invested, and you must pay down debt. You must have control over your debt. I like to say not more than 25% of your money must be going to debt. So reduce your debt to ratio. You'll always have debt. What you need to do is reduce it. Have good debt and walk from the bad debt. No good debt from bad debt. And you only want to take on good debt. You do not want to take on bad debt. And if you have to send yourself to school, don't take on student loans. Work a job. Own home, own assets, invest in assets. I'm Tisha Powell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other.